Great to be out here in front of all of you guys and giving you this session on what I believe is going to be a really exciting and disruptive technology solution to a lot of pain points that many of you guys feel. How many people here are from HR, by the way? Just a quick show of hands. Awesome. So you guys actually represent both sides of the pain point of this particular problem area. When we talk about sort of meal vouchers, you'll understand what I'm talking about. And I have my team out here to sort of help me with some of the aspects of the demo. Let me give you sort of a quick background. Thank you actually for that lovely introduction. So I don't really have to spend a lot of time on this, but as was mentioned, I've been a serial tech entrepreneur for now about 18 years. Both me and my younger brother, we sort of founders and the owners of what we call the Directi Group. Within the group, we have 11 different businesses. All of these businesses are close to about now, together the group combined net worth is about 3,000 crores with about 1,500 employees. Profitable group. We have 8+ offices worldwide in Bombay, Bangalore, Delhi, and India. And then Dubai, Ras Al Khaimah, China, LA, New York, Austin. Completely bootstrapped, which is kind of unique in the technology space where pretty much everybody is seeking several rounds of funding every few months. For the last 17, 18 years, we've actually completely grown organically. So we've not taken on any external debt or any external investment. All of our companies have been founded sort of entirely bootstrapped and are entirely privately owned by us. And Zeta is kind of the latest venture. We started conceptualizing this product more than a year ago. We started active development about 6-7 months ago, and we actually launched the first version at the NASSCOM HR conference 2 months ago. We've been receiving rave reviews from potential customers, but we're still in an early stage in terms of sort of establishing our merchant network, etc. Our objective here is, and Zeta, by the way, Zeta as a product is meant to be much more than the meal voucher product. The meal voucher product is a small component of the entire solution that we're looking at building out over the next many months and years. Our goal is to essentially eliminate cash and digitize money truly the way it was expected or meant to be. Almost every single digitization, every single solution that's out there that's digitizing money and transactions, in many ways adds convenience, but then also adds cost and delay. If I pay somebody here 100 rupees in cash, well, you get 100 rupees in cash and you get it right now instantly. But if I pay you through a credit card or a debit card or any voucher, well, you get that voucher, you settle it, let's say 48 hours later, or in many cases a month later, so you actually get the money in a delayed fashion. You have to pay a transaction fee for it. I mean, you can't replace cash with something that's more expensive and more delayed, right? So we've actually built, we believe that there are going to be 600+ million smartphones in this country by year 2020. And we believe that if one was to conceptualize a payment system and a payment network in this sort of new era of smartphones, and think about, well, none of this exists. Let's assume Visa didn't exist, and MasterCard didn't exist, and meal vouchers didn't exist. But now we suddenly have this landscape where everybody has a powerful computing device in their hands. Well, what would a world of payments look like? And that's really what we're building out at Zeta. We're looking at very closely aligning ourselves with merchants, and the entire sort of retail network, where one of the other things that we fundamentally believed is that most payment networks, they try to be consumer friendly. Sometimes they are, sometimes they're not. But most of them are not merchant friendly. It's always, oh, well, as a merchant, you have to take the settlement delay. You have to bear the transaction fees. You have to bear chargeback risks. All the risks and liabilities, every aspect is shifted onto the merchant. That doesn't exist in a cash world. How do you expect to replace a cash-based economy with a digital economy if you're going to actually result in a significant number of sort of disadvantages for the merchant network? We strongly believe that it's the merchant network that is going to facilitate digitization of sort of money across the country. So a lot of our products and a lot of our focus is entirely sort of working with merchants and working with users to eliminate paper and eliminate sort of transactions that are non-digital. Well, let me actually come back to the, it's a long digression, so let me come back to the topic at hand, which is our meal voucher product. And if you look at the existing process, and I'll actually call on my team to give you a quick visual demonstration. Can you guys all come over? And Katie, can you turn around your badge? But and Shetty, you can also, you have your laptop with you? Come. Please come on. Just come on. Just spread yourselves here. So yeah, I'm just, if you look at the existing process, we ourselves run a large organization with 1,400 employees, and we actually use a existing meal voucher solution. The normal process is, well, HR will buy, do you have the, so, assume that I am, the vendor here. They'll essentially purchase the coupon booklets from me, and they're kind of delivered in about 24 hours in most circumstances. And then the biggest pain point is distribution. So, you have, at least in our organization, is what we do. We have representative literally go to every single desk, so, and hand out these coupon booklets to every single employee, take a signature on a piece of paper that they've received these booklets. In many cases, you'll find that you'll go to a desk and at least 20% of the time, the individual's not there at his desk. And so you have to now sort of, figure out that, okay, you have to come back later. And so it's a painful process. And this, by the way, for us, we have 3 offices. Many of the large MNCs and corporates, you're looking at, offices across the city, across the country, and having to sort of distribute these paper-based vouchers across, like, thousands, tens of thousands of employees across, 20, 30, 50 cities, across offices, employees being unavailable. And then now the employees have these booklets, and they have to, carry them back home, but they have to now remember to carry them whenever they go to a potentially, a merchant outlet that potentially accepts these vouchers. And literally now, if he wants to pay 800 rupees, I mean, from what I've been told, because I actually don't use these vouchers, but, most people in queue behind typically tend to hate paper-based voucher solutions, because just the job of, like, having to count 50, 25 rupee vouchers, for adding up to that 800 rupees, then the merchant has to take them and count those vouchers. That whole process is a nightmare. The fact that we're carrying on a process of this nature, even till today, in this kind of a world where we sort of are connected to such an extent and have sort of such a amazing sort of spread technology is crazy. So now the merchants got the coupons. It's okay, you can stop counting it. They get the idea. And so then the merchant has to pass them on to, whoever sort of Exo ticket or whoever sort of voucher based, so let's assume in this case it's me. And whether it's through courier or through sort of physical collection, etc., this whole process requires logistical handling of this booklet across that entire chain, eventually comes back to me, and then I, in cash, I settle the amount, let's say, I don't know, 7 days, 15 days, 30 days later, and the money is eventually deposited into the merchant's account. And that, when we started exploring this process, we're like, this just doesn't make sense. Nobody, by the way, not one single person that we've spoken to, whether it's an HR rep, an employee, or a merchant, will say, oh, I love this solution. All right, every one of them tells us this is the worst thing that we have to do, but we save 30% in taxes, so, we'll take the pain. But nobody will tell you that they love this process. So we said, well, we got to, Directi, I've been a techie for the last 18 years. I started coding when I was 10 years old. And for us, something like this is just an unacceptable status quo. So we said, well, how do we completely revolutionize this process by implementing a solution that's significantly more beneficial, right? So I want to quickly demonstrate that to you guys. So let's talk about the Zeta way. And this particular, I'll actually shift to my focus to the phone out here. So this particular phone is, assume an employee's smartphone. Almost all employees across the country will eventually have smartphones anyways. We also work on SMS, but right now I'm going to demonstrate sort of the smartphone-based solution to you. So, this is the Zeta app, which I've kind of launched out there. And if I go to my account section, you'll see that right now it shows, I don't know if it's visible to everybody, but it shows like a meal voucher collection of booklets, and it shows right now I've got 0 rupees in it. So Sandeep is going to act as the HR person out here. And so Sandeep, if you can start the transfer. So all he's doing is uploading a file of all the employees, which is, myself and, Vijay, 2 of the folks out here. And now you'll see he just finished transferring. You'll see the amount has become 1,000. I actually received a notification here that says, 1,000 rupees was credited into your wallet. I don't know, again, if the notification is visible. But that's that, and you'll see that my book. So this was the distribution process. As an HR person, went to an interface. I couldn't show it to you because it was on another computer, but a browser-based interface uploaded an Excel file that comprised of 3 employees, which is myself and these 2 guys. Did you guys also receive your vouchers? So all 3 of us have now received the distribution. The purchase and distribution process is over. All of us have received our, vouchers worth 1,000 rupees. And now, as an individual, if I want to now go to a store that accepts these vouchers, so in fact, so you enter the address of the merchant. Right now, I'll show you sort of an example. This actually pulls up right now all the food outlets that are in my neighborhood at any point in time. So I don't have to remember which outlet accepts these vouchers or doesn't accept these vouchers. That directory is always available and accessible to me on my phone. In this case, let's say I'm going to KFC. So can people roughly see the, okay. So I select KFC as a merchant, ask me to enter an amount. So now, another interesting part out here is because the whole solution is digitized, I can, let's say, pay 41 rupees. It doesn't have to be sort of like a whole number. So I can pay, any amount that I want to. I say confirm the payment. It asks me to select the payment instrument. It's a bit, light again, but that rectangle here kind of shows the meal voucher booklet where I have 1,000 rupees. So I select that meal voucher booklet, and I click on pay, and I want to just quickly demonstrate to you how easy the payment process is. So when I click on pay, it essentially generates a code. This can be a 2D barcode that's scannable in POS devices. It can be a QR code that's scannable on mobile phones. Merchants don't need a special POS terminal depending on your size. If you're a big merchant, you have a full-fledged sort of POS system, it'll integrate with that automatically. If you're a small merchant, you can literally download this app without any pains on Android, iOS, or Windows Phone. So this is what the merchant app looks like. I'm essentially showing you now the merchant app. As a merchant, I'll say scan Zeta code, and then just basically put the scanner there. And that's it. That's the transaction. No counting of vouchers, nothing. So you'll see now the merchant phone says 41 rupees.